We're talking about the best places to eat at Disneyland Paris. And for part one, we're visiting Walt's, an American restaurant right in the heart of Main Street, USA. Wait, aren't we in Paris? I'm so confused. Walt's is located in the heart of Main Street, USA, and was the very first place we ate at when visiting Disneyland Paris. Stay tuned to the end to see how this restaurant ranks out of all of the places we tried. Right when you step off of Main Street, you step into the charm of turn-of-the-century America with intricate details and decor that reflect the golden age of American culture. We really enjoyed seeing so many rare photos of Walt and his family that we had never seen before. Before we went to Paris, we heard that the food at this theme park isn't the best, but I wholeheartedly disagree. This restaurant in particular comes with very mixed reviews, and I am going to be brutally honest in mine, but I think you're going to be surprised. I personally believe this stigma comes from people who have only eaten at the quick service restaurants. Now, I cannot speak to those because we only ate at table service restaurants, because honestly, if you're going to France, you shouldn't be going to a quick service and ordering a cheeseburger or chicken tenders. You should absolutely budget for table service meals. Aside from the many rare photos you get to see in the lobby, there's also several Disney artifacts that are important to Disney history. Like this zoetrope, that's an optical device that preceded animated films, which reminds us that Walt never ceased to revolutionize the movie industry. The hostess will let you know when your table is ready, and you can walk up the stairs or take the elevator to the second floor where the actual restaurant is. The interior is divided into themed rooms reflecting the 5 lands of the park, but more on that later. Our bad table luck struck again as we were seated in a hallway near the restrooms. However, technically I believe the area was considered to be Tomorrowland, and we had a 2-top table right next to Main Street with the most gorgeous view, so I'm calling this one a win. All right, let's get into the good stuff. The menu features a variety of American dishes, including steaks, seafood, and hearty classics. You can expect a mix of traditional favorites and gourmet interpretations, catering to both casual diners and those looking for a more refined meal. I think what can get lost in translation and cause mixed reviews is that it's called Walt's, an American restaurant. So people come here expecting American cuisine, the way Americans prepare meals. However, this is a French restaurant at the end of the day. So if you order Walt's chili, just be aware it's a refined interpretation of chili, which is deconstructed. It's not just a bowl of chili, y'all. We're in France. Let's remember that. So this menu is fixed. You will get a starter, main course, and dessert for 55 euros. You can also add a wine pairing for just 20 more euros if you'd like. Or you can try the signature cocktail like I did called the Floral Imagination, which is Bombay Sapphire Gin, dry vermouth, violet liqueur, lavender syrup, apple juice, lime drink, and egg white. This was 15 euros and probably one of my favorite cocktails of our entire trip. And Brett got the Brooklyn Lager for 9 euros, which he also enjoyed. You start your meal with bread, and this was not my favorite bread of the trip, but it was still very good. My first course was a creamy pea soup with whipped Insignia cream and smoky popcorn. Overall, it was a little bland, but that Insignia cream was incredible, and the smoky popcorn gave it a nice, unexpected crunch, and I would say I would definitely get this one again. I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. Brett tried the Waldorf salad with Roquefort cheese and lemon thyme vinaigrette, and he enjoyed it very much. For our mains, Brett got the seasonal special, which was a roast pike perch with artichoke puree, quinoa, and bulgur with parsley, rhubarb confit, and gravy. Whoa, that's a lot. But this dish was packed full of flavors and so deep. We were both definitely impressed with this one. And I chose the roasted Arctic char with seasonal vegetables, and it came in an Insignia beurre blanc. Oh my gosh, I am still dreaming about that beurre blanc. This dish was a 9 out of 10 for me. So good, I would definitely get it next time I go. All right, we're going to take a quick break from the food to talk about probably the coolest aspect of this restaurant. The views from the second floor of Main Street are so good. The vibes are unmatched. I don't know if there's another Disney park where you can eat on the second floor on Main Street, but this is a definite perk of this restaurant, and I would definitely say you need to book here just so you can watch a million splashes of color, which goes down Main and comes back, so you get to watch this parade with no one in your way. You're not in the heat or the cold. It's just such a lovely view and such a fun aspect of this restaurant, which let's take a second during our pause from our food to talk about the ambiance. This restaurant, well, where we were seated anyway, was very intimate and very quiet. However, in some of the other rooms, it was a little bit louder, so it's not like a bad place to bring your kids, but I would definitely say this is a great date spot. And let's talk about service too real quick. Our waitress was very sweet. However, she was earning her ears, so the service was a little spotty. She wasn't keeping our drinks refilled. She wasn't really receptive to any of our requests, but I think that was just a product of her being kind of new, and overall she was still very sweet, and the service wasn't bad. It just wasn't the best that we had while we were in France. You absolutely cannot beat this view though, am I right? Here's another little look around our table. You can see some touches of Tomorrowland, and if you look to the left, you can see the toilets, like I said, we were seated by, and you can also see the elevator. So while our view on one side was great, our view on the other side wasn't, but let's get back to the food. The dessert course was absolutely my very favorite course of the meal. My dessert was called the Flower Street Sundae. However, I am so sad because I have no idea what flavors the ice cream were, and I know our waitress told us, but it's not online and I can't find it. But just listen to my reaction to this.
Remember when you said, like, I'm definitely going to go back in the jittery?
Oh my God. That is the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. I am not exaggerating. Brett tried the pineapple upside down cake. He said it wasn't the best he'd ever had, but it was still very good. Like I said, this was our first restaurant that we ate at in Paris, so this was our first encounter with espresso. They come with little castle cookies every time you get them at the parks. Highly suggest doing this. My first taste with this espresso, it was very bitter, but at the end of our trip, I was drinking it like left and right, so when in Rome, right? Let's take one final look around the restaurant. I thought the toilet design was really cute, and like I said, each room was themed after a different area of the theme park, which includes Fantasyland room, Frontierland room, Discoveryland room, Adventureland room, and Disneyland hotel room. So bear that in mind when you're making your reservation, and when you check in, do your research. If there's a specific room you'd like to sit in, be sure you request that table at check-in. But no matter what room you want to sit in, I highly recommend requesting a window table so that you can enjoy the views of Main Street. Overall, the decor, ambiance, and vibes of this restaurant were immaculate, and our food was pretty delicious too. It was a great start to our trip, and of the 6 table service restaurants we ate at while we were at Disneyland Paris, this one ranks number 4. Be sure to subscribe for part 2, where we will be dining at La Table des Lumières. And if you enjoyed this video, share it with the person you're bringing with you, and let me know in the comments if you would try this restaurant at Disneyland Paris. Pour l'instant, au revoir et restez magique.